Welcome back, people, to another episode of Is It Shit? Today we're looking at something new from Pulsar. Now, often Pulsar put out a new plugin, and I like most of their stuff. They make some really cool plugins, so when they put out something new, I'm always going to have a look. This one is a bit different for them. They tend to do sort of modelled versions of famous bits of hardware. They've gone off-piste a bit. This might, on first look, if you're squinting a bit or your eyesight's as bad as mine, look quite a lot like a T-Rex plugin because of the yellow and the black vibe. But it's not. This is the Pulsar Vocal Studio. Let's find out. Is it? So yeah, Pulsar Vocal Studio. Really different one for them. And I've got to be honest, when I first saw it, I'm like, I don't mind the look of it. It looks great. You know, it's very clear what it does. But I've never been a fan of plugins that are like, this is for vocals, this is for bass, this is for guitars, and then they give you everything you need. Sometimes, like all the CLA Wave stuff, I used to use them years ago when they first came out because it was a really quick way to get a mix up and running quickly. I drifted away from them just because I needed more flexibility, and I ended up going back to the way I used to work. As soon as, you know, there was the opportunity to have an SSL channel, it's much easier for me to get a drum sound using that than it is the CLA stuff, because that's what I come from. So I'm mostly working like that now with a lot of channel strips. So the idea of having a plugin that is everything I need for a vocal, it's not my go-to. I would normally use, you know, a separate EQ and compressor. I would then pick a reverb, you know, pick my delay, pick whatever else I'm going to do, specific to the song, specific to the vocalist. I wouldn't normally go for something like this. So yeah, not massively excited to try it. However, as you'll see from the demo, this thing is pretty flexible. Yeah, I'm kind of pretty impressed. Let's go through it. As you can see, it's kind of in three sections. This top section up here, we have got the sensitivity. It's basically how sensitive the plugin is to the input level. You can click learn and play the vocal through it and it will sort of set itself, or you can mess with that. It's pretty easy to get your head around it. It tells you this is the good zone, this is where you want to be. We then got the drive section. You've got a choice between solid state, tube, germanium. So that means you can add some real saturation. It will go from subtle, giving a bit of thickness, to full on scary, you know, distortion, which you sometimes want in a vocal. So I like that. We've then got the dynamic section, shall we call it. We've got the de-esser, which just appears to work quite well. A lot of de-essers I struggle with. I always end up going back to the regular Waves de-esser. This one is all right. It's weird because you don't have, you know, anywhere to pick the frequency. It finds it somehow, but it does the job. It has a gate, quite useful for noise. Obviously, set the gate. If you've got a noisy vocal, you don't always need it. I would generally advise leaving it off unless you need it, but it's there. We then got a one knob compressor, just more or less compression, with a really cool meter going around the outside. But you've got a choice of natural compression, modern compression, or gritty compression. They're all very usable. You'll see from the demo, it's quite a good compressor actually. Yeah. If I had to guess what it was based on, probably an LA2A kind of thing. Maybe a 76 when it's in gritty mode. Not sure. In fact, here you go. Let me guess. Natural LA2A, modern is tube tech sort of sound, gritty 76 as a guess. We then got a volume, output volume, bypass button, useful. Then we've got the EQ section. You've got a custom EQ, which you can just do what you want. There's various different presets you can flip through that, different basic EQ settings. Grab any of the nodes, high pass, low pass, any of these nodes, move it around, set it how you want. It does have an auto gain setting. And then you've got the focus, which is, I think you can choose between presence. What was the other one? It might be presence, focus and air or something. And it's basically just little points it picks out and you can drive more, makes the vocal stand proud of the mix. Nice little feature. The next section down is your effects. So we've got the spatial effects section where you've got things like phasers. Oh, I've just invented a new thing. It's a phaser. Cross between a flanger and a phaser. Anyway, so you've got flangers, you've got phasers, you've got stereo width things, anything that's doing something clever like that. sort of modulation effects, I would say, and spatial effects. They're all down here. Choose the one you want. It's nice to be able to top and tail it with the high pass and low pass, and then put in the amount you want. We have then got a delay section. There's lots of presets you can flip through. You can set the signature, you can set the feedback amount, whether it's ducking, you can have drift, and the high pass and low pass again. And then again with the reverb, same sort of thing. Lots of different presets to flip through. You've got pre-delay, brightness, ducking, width, high pass and low pass. Plenty there to get a real variety of vocal sounds. Now, if you're messing around with it and you're kind of just not sure where do I go, try the presets. There are some blinding presets on this. Good on Pulsar. Spent some time on making some presets that a lot of them are very just basic good vocal sounds, but there's just as many that are wacky, you know, really sort of filtered or adding a phaser or whatever it is. It really shows off what it can do, and you suddenly realize, okay, this is a creative tool that isn't just going to get me a good solid vocal sound. I can do some cool stuff as well. Yeah, very impressed with the layout and the speed at which you can get a decent sound out of it. Interestingly, I'm also looking at the Neural DSP Mantra at the moment, which is also a vocal processing plugin all in one. They're so different. They're so different, but they're both good. This one, however, is very, very quick. If you're working on a mix, I just want to get a good vocal sound quickly to suit this track, stick this on there, you'll be up and running in no time. Pick a preset that's close to what you want and tweak. Pretty damn impressed with it, if I'm honest. Let's talk about demo. It's Pulsar, so you get a full 14 days. Can't argue with that. No silly silences or mutes or any of that stuff. Price-wise, the full price is €199. Now, that's pretty strong. €199. I would say that might be pushing it a bit. I'm not sure that's ideal price-wise. You get a lot for your money, but you could buy a lot of different plugins individually and give yourself maybe more flexibility that way. However, in the sale at the moment, it's €89, and €89 for this amount of stuff of this quality, I'm kind of down with that. I think that works. I think that's a good price point for the amount of stuff it does and how easy it is to use, how clear it is on the interface, how good the presets are. As you can tell, I'm enjoying this one. Star rating, I'm going full on. This is 5 stars. This is 5 stars at the price of €89. If it was €199, wasn't in a sale, that would drop down to 4. But as it stands, €89, this is a 5-star plugin. It's fantastic at making your vocal sound awesome. And you know what? If you kind of think, but I've got some really nice reverbs and delays, I don't really need that bit, turn that bit off. Turn that bit off and use the rest, because the rest is very, very usable. You know, and you could do that with each section. It might be, I've got a lovely vocal compressor. All right, turn the compressor off, use everything else. It's a nice plugin. I really like it. Yep, well done, Pulsar. Smashed it, I think, with that one. If you could like the video, that really helps. If you could subscribe to the channel, that really helps too. There are 2 Instagram accounts. There's Studio Life 101 for the channel, and then there's Mixdown Mastering for all my mixing and mastering business. There's the website where we've got the top 5 plugins. There's also a bunch of courses on mixing, on mastering, and compression. And I also do consultations. Been doing more and more of those recently. You can book me for an hour, send me 3 songs, I'll pick apart your mixes, and then we get together on a video call and we chat and we try and get you to a better place with your mixes or your masters, whatever you're working on. Anyway, that's all for now. Enjoy the demo coming up. See you next time. Adios.
okay.